says I'm being poured out. In other words, they are planning on killing me for preaching the gospel. They're going to spill my blood because of my testimony of Jesus Christ. So if I gotta be poured out for Jesus, then pour me out. Look at somebody and say, pour me out. They got me in chains, but I'm willing to be poured out. The enemy wants to destroy me, but I'm willing to be poured out. They scandalize my name, but that's all right because I'm willing to be. Paul knew that while he was being poured out, that God was pouring some stuff in. And that's what you got to know today, that while you're being poured out, God is steadily pouring in. Paul knew that as he was being poured out, God was pouring strength into him. Do you hear what I'm saying? God was pouring grace into him. God was pouring wisdom into him. Do you hear what I'm saying? So when the enemy tries to drain you of your substance, it's good to know that God will step in and pour the right stuff in you. Satan will try to have you confused, but God will give you wisdom and direction. The devil will leave you afflicted, but God will give you peace that surpasses all understanding. That old serpent will try to stress you out, but God will give you joy in the midst of your storm. Is there anybody in here willing to be poured out for Jesus? You see, to run and to finish this Christian race, you got to be willing to be poured out. But before you can be poured out, you must first be willing to be sold out. Do you hear what I'm saying? Let me say that again. Before you can be poured out, you first must be sold out for the cause of Christ. The reason why some of us ain't willing to be poured out is because we have yet to be sold out. But you got to be sold out before you can be poured out. What does the song say? I am sold out. Sold out, sold out, sold out. My mind is made up and you can't change it. I am sold out, sold out, sold out. You gotta be sold out before you can be poured out. And I can't speak for you, but I'm sold on the fact that Jesus died for me. I'm sold on the fact that he saved me. I'm sold on the fact that he redeemed me. I'm sold on the fact that in rising he justified me. I'm sold out, and I'm sold on the fact that he freed me forever. Look at somebody and tell them, I'm sold out. I'm sold out for Jesus. Do you hear what I'm saying? You see, the life that you live shall be an offering upon the altar of God. Meaning that your life is not your own, but it belongs to God to use any way that he sees fit. Paul says, I'm about to die. But he didn't mind because he saw his life as an offering to God. And he viewed his approaching death as completing the sacrifice. So he says to Pastor Timothy, it's time for you to take my place and carry on the work. He said, I have fought a good fight. I didn't just fight, but I fought a good fight. I labored for the prize. I was in it to win it. Even though I had to contend with the adversary, I kept right in stride. Me and Dowdy were talking, and I'm reminded of the time when I was a youngster. There was a program that used to come on TV. It was called Roller Derby, and it was made up of skating teams in a race around the rink, and it consisted of mini laps. But anyway, while competing for the prize, some of the skaters played dirty. catch an elbow to the gut, but you had to get back up and keep on rolling. Might get blindsided and knocked to the floor, but you had to get back up and keep on rolling. Some people would grab you by the head and ram it into the wall, but you had to get back up and keep on rolling. Some folk might throw you out the ring, but you had to get back up and keep on rolling. Well, it's the same way on this obstacle course that God has us on. Every now and then, the adversary may give you a gut blow, but you got to get back up and keep on rolling. May blindside you, but you got to get back up and keep on rolling. May scandalize your name, but you got to get back up and keep on rolling. Look at your neighbor and tell them, keep on rolling. Anybody in here willing to roll for Jesus? You got to get back up when the devil knocks you down. And you got to keep on rolling up the King's Highway. Do you hear what I'm saying? Paul said, I fought a good fight. I ain't scared to do battle. I'll take a blow, but I'll keep on rolling, because no weapon formed against me shall be able to prosper. Do you hear what I'm saying? And we must understand that the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but are mighty in God for the pulling down of strongholds. Therefore, we don't use carnal weapons to fight spiritual battles. That would be like running to the battlefield with bullets but no gun to shoot with. Do you hear what I'm saying? God has showed us how to do battle. We conquer hate with love. We conquer bitterness with forgiveness. We conquer spitefulness with prayer. Because somebody said we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. Not just loved us, but loves us right now. Do you hear what I'm saying? You got to run the race with endurance and with a mindset to finish what you started. Sometimes you got to press toward the mark for the prize, for the high calling of God, which is in Christ Jesus. Do you hear what I'm saying? That's why Paul said, I finished my course. I took the blows, but I kept on rolling. And then he said, I kept the faith. I kept the faith. Now I know Pastor Weems already told you the Greek expression for keeping the faith. That means loyal to the cause of Christ. Anybody in here loyal to the cause of Christ? That means he can count on you when times get rough. He can depend on you when times get tough. When the lights go out, you'll let it shine, that men might see your good works and glorify your Father